Yeah, this is Paul. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I was looking at you in the law. Yeah, and they have what's called classification of crimes or offenses. Yes. Offenses with which criminal laws concerned fall into different classifications, of which the following seems to be the most descriptive in terms of substance and procedure: felonies and misdemeanors. Both of which are crimes and leave a person convicted of them with a criminal record. Violations, which are not crimes, although they are punishable offenses. Felonies are generally described as offenses that are punishable by more than 1 year's imprisonment. Then they have misdemeanors. Yeah. Then there's called principals, accessories, and accomplishments. I had sent an email about being an accessory before or after the fact of knowing a crime has been committed. Assist the principal to avoid capture or arrest of escape. When you kidnapped my sons without due process of law and took custody of them from me, that would be an accessory after the fact. I had emailed about how every oath of office that has any knowledge of the custody of my sons being taken from me without due process are actually accessories after the fact of the abduction. I sent an email this morning that documented that my sons are missing, that Susan Bowers is not Marilyn Van Proyen, and I wanted to know where that missing woman is. I said I wanted an email. Now, there's offenses against judicial authority, public justice, and the general welfare. There's what's called treason, conspiracy, sedition, and then contempt. Criminal contempt has been charged in many recent cases. Yes. Perjury, escape, and associated crimes. Escape is kind of like stonewalling. When you don't enforce the law and you don't arrest those that have violated my rights, your stonewalling is really just escape. Now, when I went through the Superior Court case summary, you can see here I was not in Washington State in 2011. These confidential sealed reports, if they were written with the intent of deceiving, and the court did not find out what the truth was before issuing protection orders, because they did not give me notice and opportunity to be heard so that I could protect my custody rights as an American citizen. They have conspired to stonewall. Now, you can see in all of these different entries that there is no notice or opportunity to be heard, okay? Now, when you don't protect the due process rights of an American citizen, then you stonewall because you say, well, you got to motion the Superior Court. I'm like, no. You violated my rights in 2011. You violated my rights approximately 16 times over the last 6 years. In fact, when I look at this actual protection order, you can see here that I did not get actual notice of the hearing. The order was not issued in accordance with the full faith and credit provisions of the VAWA. See this 2025? As I have said, there are a number of crimes that are judicial crimes: treason, conspiring to deprive Americans of their rights, contempt of court, perjury, fraud. Now, these are serious offenses, and when I had sent documentation that the petitioner did not sign the actual form And this signature is not the same as this signature when I send the documentation. And the judiciary stonewalls. I, as an American citizen, consider those felonies. Now, when I email oaths of office, those in Supreme Court justices, those in the Congress, elected or appointed, elected senators or representatives, those appointed to government, ambassadors through every nation. In fact, give me the last 40 years of ambassadors. I'd like to know, what is their DNA, and are they having allegiance to any royal family? Now, I had noticed that in the Constitution they have what's called high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, if you look at it, those in the executive branch of the United States government, it's in, just a second here, the Constitution of the United States, Article 2, the executive branch. Now, it says here, the president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Now, I just gave you an example of the differences of the types of judgments you can get for different types of crimes. You can be an accessory after the fact of the abduction of my sons because of the violating of my constitutional rights to due process. The 5th and the 14th Amendment. Now, I'm going to need to know every civil officer of the executive branch of the United States government for the last 60 years. I want the DNA of every cabinet member of the White House. I want to know the DNA of every czar, every employee of the White House. I want the last 40 years of presidents. And I want to know every president, every vice president, and every cabinet member at the White House that knows that my rights are being violated and that my sons have been abducted. If I find any fish, lizard, or royal blood in any person in the White House, I will sue you for high crimes and misdemeanors for obstructing my rights as an American citizen. Do you understand?